I have a demo and people are playing this and testing it and I'm getting feedback. I wanted to go through what this all means, how the feedback affects where we go with the game build. Let's start with the stuff people liked, the good stuff. They really enjoyed the quirky little items in the game. They liked playing with the bottle of drink that was on the table and picnic basket that was on the table. They liked kind of trying to explore all these little tiny bits in the game that they push the swing set here and it moved back and forth and they're like, oh, wow, that moves. And I like these things in games, but I didn't think everybody liked all these little weird things in games, but yes, they do. Everyone loves weird little things that happen in games. The other thing that really surprised me was I've only got 2 levels available for testing at the moment, and I expect people to kind of test it for an hour or so. Everyone was playing like 2 to 3 hours of this game, and there's not that much to do. Like, there's stuff to do, but people were really excited to go and explore and just, I want to go and see what's over there and I want to go and see what's over there. And those kind of things really warmed my heart. Like, I'm like, yes, this is what I wanted from people. I wasn't expecting it to work as well. Like, I didn't expect people to actually just want to keep playing as much as they have. So that's really, really positive feedback that just makes me think that we are on the right track with what we are doing here. Another thing was that people started working out the puzzles relatively easy. I don't mean solving the puzzles. I mean they understood what they had to do in the puzzles without me going in and explaining to them, hey, you need to do this. I should point out, when I'm sitting in the demo, I watch them play. I sit there and I'm like a mouse in the corner and just sit there and watch them play. I try not to give them any information. I just want to see what they do. Things that weren't so good was at the start of the game. When I start a new game, I just hit buttons and see what happens. And I thought everyone did this. Some people kind of struggled with the controls to start with. I mean, they ended up hitting buttons and figuring it out, but they were a tiny bit annoyed. That wasn't a major problem, but I maybe have to integrate some information a little bit better on that part. I'll have to get my thinking cap on. Another thing that people couldn't really work out was there's these puzzles here, and the puzzles have the wires coming out either side of them like cables, and you can follow the cables and they will lead you to the next puzzle or the previous puzzle, and they're kind of a great way for kind of leading people around the map. With this first puzzle that you come across in the first world, it leads you to this connector, and everyone jumped on the connector. Everyone didn't understand why the connector was just there. There was no kind of information about that. So they would jump on it, they would kick it, they would try to do all kinds of things to get this connector to activate. Now, the idea is that the connector should make you think, oh, hang on, maybe that's below ground. But obviously we didn't convey that information enough. So what happened was we moved the connector closer to the cave entrance and we put a box there with like a little thing. We'll have to try round 3 of testing and see if this helps people understand that the wire actually goes underground, because that's what we're trying to show people here. I mean, it's just a little bit of, we'll try this idea next and we'll see if it works for people, if people understand. But the biggest problem with the testing that happened, when I first got some people to play the game, they were loving the dog and they wanted to see where the dog was taking him. And the idea is that Chewy, the little dog, he's going to run some direction and lead you in the path. He's also the reason you're playing this game, is to follow the dog. The people that played the game on the weekend were cat people. And I didn't think anything of this until they didn't really care for the dog. They didn't follow the dog. They're like, it's just a dog. I have to kind of add maybe a cutscene or something at the start of the game here that will show the relationship between the dog and the player, because that hasn't been communicated enough at the start of the game. I think that would then draw everybody to chasing the dog. I just know if I see a dog in a game, I'm like, oh, the puppy, I want to go and pat the puppy. But Obviously, not all people are like this. Some people are like, oh, that dog's a bit scary. I'm not going to go near the dog. That was interesting to learn. I thought everyone was going to want to pat the puppy, so I was wrong. If you like what you see in Lighthaze World, I'd love you to wishlist it. I'll get back to building it and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you for watching.